Okay, like I was saying, this is what you actually probably clicked on. Give you a brief description. It says $15 an hour starting, but the base pay that they had set for us was $10 with commissions. This is how much you can make. I say based off of the commission rates, look to be more closer to this $15 an hour versus this $25. This $25 an hour is once you promote up to like a L2, L3, in the twos. You start off as a L1, then you can go to a L1. It is actually like is level 1.1. So you're a level 1. Then you got level 1.2, level 1.3, and then 2.1, and 2.3, and then so forth. So this $25 an hour is more likely for somebody who's like a level 2. But starting out, your base pay is $10 an hour. They do offer dental packages, 401k, but you got to actually 401k. I think you got to be within the company for the first year. 1,000 hours. So 1,000 hours or a year, whichever one. The 1,000 hours comes, you know, is what you would get the 401k. Insurance is within 60 days of employment. Training, we'll get into the training and stuff, but this is what you're going to do right here, and then you'll click apply. It takes you to this. It gives you a brief over description of the duties. Internet, you got to type 40 words per minute, and y'all know I did not have my keyboard is disabled with the letters B and N, so I was typing B and N. So if you have the same issues, get you a USB keyboard. I actually end up having to go downtown to do my typing test because normally I can type upwards of 50 words per minute. I used to be able to type 70 words per minute, but I gotten reduced to 50 words per minute. They don't really care about the accuracy as long as it's at least 80%. Internet speed over 2 megapixels download and 1 megapixel upload. So if you got the basic of Spectrum, you're good on that one. As long as you got an Ethernet cord, you're good. Windows 7, 8.1, 10, minimum 2 gigahertz processor, 3 gigabytes of RAM installed. So entry level laptop, 15-inch screen monitor. And like I said, direct internet connection. That's your Ethernet cord, a Skype compatible hard wired non-wireless USB headset. And let me show y'all the one that I use. This is actually the headset that I use every now and again. It's called an Empower. I got this from Amazon. It got noise canceling software and everything. And I brought this for like 20 some dollars. So the link to this one will be down below in the description box. So this one cost me just $20. And then you can get some for cheaper. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're in a noise quiet environment. If not, yeah, you definitely want a noise canceling headset if you got animals in the house or children or whatever. What else? Like I said, 15-inch monitor, that's a blessing because that's the average for like most laptops. So no mini laptops, no cell phones, no tablets. A laptop that's 15 inches or larger. Most jobs actually want you to have a 20-inch monitor or dual monitors. You don't need more than one monitor. That's a blessing, cause that be frustrating with jobs like this. Sometimes they want you to have multiple monitors. Some don't want you to have a laptop at all. You need an actual desktop or a 20-inch screen, which my old laptop used to be a 20-inch screen. And anybody who's been following me on my personal channel, y'all know I had a gaming laptop that was a Windows. It was a limited edition. It retailed at $3,000. It it weighed over 35 pounds. It had the removable keyboard and everything. That would be perfect for this type of job as well if you still have that type of vintage laptop. But as far as USB, let me show y'all mine's. Hold on one second. I haven't even took it out of the packaging, but I went and ordered a a USB keyboard for future job opportunities. Okay. I'm unboxing it right now for y'all so y'all can see what it looks like. Or maybe not. Okay, y'all, here we go right here. As y'all can tell, still in the packaging. But this bad boy only cost me $12. Once again, got the USB port right here. You can plug right into your laptop if you got any keys that are messed up from spilling drinks on it like myself. So don't think if you got some keys messed up that you can't apply for this job. Like I said, instead of going into the repair shop, you don't got no money. You don't got no 20, 25 dollars just yet, because even if you got the money to repair your laptop, the thing is you can't really apply for the job without, applying for it. And then it got to be in the shop for a few days. So if you are in that type of situation, get you a little extendable keyboard for 12 bucks instead of having to come out of pocket to get the whole time, because it's not only costly to get your keys replaced, but it takes time. And y'all know with me doing, being an independent esthetician, working several other jobs online, it's not that I can't afford to get this fixed. It's just I never have time to be without my laptop because this is my only laptop. But if you have another one, yeah, get your keyboards fixed or get you a replacement keyboard. Okay, now that we got all that out the way, how you get your USB keyboard for cheap. This, like I said, $15. My headset was $25. Ben had this for other opportunities, so that's $40 right there. My webcam, I use a Logitech, and this is a very old model. This is in the C series. I wouldn't even recommend this one for me because I do YouTube videos. I got this span to a 930 business conferencing webcam, but this one I would think you can get right now for like $25. Back when I got this cost me 50 some dollars, but you can get this on Amazon for like $25. It records in 720 HP, 5 megapixels. The microphone, I'm actually using the microphone from this camera right now. I don't got no external microphone in, and I sound pretty good. Nobody complains about my voice for the most part when I use the Logitech microphone instead of my microphone for my headset. Now you hear me a lot clearer, and my accent is a lot more distinct when I use my headset, or if I have an external microphone versus this one. I sound a lot more raspier than I do in real life. It's the weirdest thing. But anyways, after you apply and you pass the 40 words per minute, somebody will call you back and they will schedule you for your virtual interview. So you get a first call interview to ask you about your job, your qualifications, and of course, y'all know I got a background in business. I got associates in business with an emphasis in marketing. I've been in home-based businesses for over 10 plus years. I also been in the selling industry for over 10 years. I worked for Kirby. I've done data. I've worked at the county clerk house. I'm at the county courthouse as a clerk. What else have I done? I've done some translations. I translate French and Italian for people who want to know. I'm trying to learn Spanish and I'm trying to learn Kiswahili. What else? I'm not the best at English, so don't excuse me if I say Yeah, I know that's a English no pa for y'all English majors out there. But continuing on, after you do your first interview where they get a feel of you, pretty much you don't need to have no extensive background as long as you are at least 19 years old. And the reason why I say 19 is because they're looking for somebody who just at least has 6 months of customer service experience. So if you worked at McDonald's, Walmart, or if you worked as a teenager at the age of 16, you can start this job as soon as 18 years old. But it's good to have at least some prior experience when it comes to customer service, especially a call center environment. That will be a major plus for this job, especially since you're dealing with small to medium businesses. You're dealing with selling internet, television, and phone services from anywhere from 1 to 24 different lines. So think about that as a small doctor's office, maybe a very small hospital, a little clinic, hospitality places, antique stores, anywhere that's small, local. Nothing too big. They do have an enterprise. However, you will not be working within the enterprise sector. You will only be working with small businesses and helping them with they issues with their phone, internet, and television services. So that's what the job entails. Anywhere from 1 to 24 different lines. Almost similar to Spectrum, except on a major scale. You're dealing with the business side of it. You're not dealing with the residential. So you're not dealing with residential customers. Also, you're not dealing with the technical issues. So if they're having any sort of technical issues, you would transfer them to the technical department. You are providing customer service only. Another thing is the weirdest thing, they do not process credit card orders. They always bill out. I guess another department deals with business. So even if they wanted to pay, they don't deal with credit cards, and I guess that's a reason why anybody can apply for this job, even if you have a felon background or whatever. Actually, I think they do a background check though. So I would say as long as your felonies are not money related, if you ain't been caught, stealing, theft, anything of that sort, you should be okay. But when I tell you that, I really don't even believe they do a extensive background, because what got into me was, let's now switch over to my acceptance. As y'all can tell, here's my acceptance letter, and this is my personal inbox. I don't mind showing y'all my inbox. I'm a real person. I don't want y'all thinking that I'm just, business, Lawan Goldsboro, or Lawan Garnett for people who know me by my, modern name. But anyways, this is what you will get right here. It will say, welcome to Telenetwork. And of course, for confidentiality reasons, most jobs like this, you sign a confidentiality agreement. You can't showcase everything, but there's my welcome letter. There's my Paylocity and all that. But once again, before you even get to that though, let me backtrack. You got to go to your third interview. Your third interview will be actually in Google Hangouts. And that's a first for me. I never had Google Hangouts before. So this job, you will be doing 3 weeks of training in Google Hangouts. At first, it freaked me out because I never done Google Hangouts before. But I quickly learned the ropes just with the third interview. Once I passed my second interview and I went to my third interview, they asked me a series of questions. They also probe your personality type. As y'all know, I am a Capricorn. I'm very much like my zodiac sign. I'm very entrepreneurial, introverted, a little bit timid, shy. However, that is not to be confused with, being antisocial. I am very much social, and I can go very in depth. I'm very intuitive. I'm a type IR personality type. For people who know about the personality types, I'm very inquisitive, rational. So I can go very much in detail with customers. As far as virtual reality, I don't mind dealing with conversing. It's just large crowds scare me in real life. So I can't do large crowds, but as far as, conversing with somebody over the phone or over voice over IP software, which is what you will be using, the telephone that you will have is actually voice over IP. Even though they require you to have your own phone, which is weird because it's like you log into a voice over IP and you get the phone calls and they come through your headset that is plugged into your computer. So I don't know why they actually ask whether you have a home phone or not, because the only time they ask you, they call your home phone is not the customers or the clients. It's actually the people if you're late. Like when you log in, and we're going to get into that in a moment, and you're late, they will actually call your home phone or the phone number that you provided. But once you pass your third interview, and the one thing you want to emphasize is that you are compassionate towards others. That's a huge plus. Okay, I think I was talking about the qualification process when I clicked off. I am still getting used to this free version of this software. After 15 minutes, it automatically cuts you off. I'm used to being able to talk for a full 30 minutes without no interruptions, but with this free version, I'm not trying to get the paid version until Black Friday. You know, I'm a diva on a budget, honey. I'm waiting till them discounts roll in, including for this one. They already got Hulu all the way down to $5 per month. I'm waiting till they discount this before I get the year version again. But anyways, like I was saying, after you go through your interview process and you get hired, like I said, they love when you mention that you are altruistic, compassionate, you know, for people who don't know what altruism is a selfless concern for others. So they love to hear about people who are very altruistic, people who are compassionate, driven. They will also ask you about your weaknesses. And like I said, my weaknesses is by me being introverted, sometimes I'm not as forthcoming with my own information. So that is one major weakness for me. That sometimes, and also the fact that I can sometimes come off as monotone. I try not to come off as monotone, but sometimes it can happen. But anyways, I got hired. Y'all see the acceptance letters. Then you'll set up your payroll. And then this is why I said that you shouldn't really worry about the background check, because when it came to the I-9 form, it was so weird. It's like they did not want a notary. They wanted anybody, like your neighbor could verify who you is, which is crazy. So y'all know I just got hit with Hurricane Florence, and my neighbors are gone for the most part. I don't know my neighbors who stay behind me. Don't know them over there. My neighbor has been gone due to Hurricane Florence, and this one, her house was partially destroyed. So I did not have nobody to verify me. I had to get my cousin to do it last minute. It can't be no immediate family member, no mother, no spouse, no children, no sisters, no brothers. But it can be like a cousin. It can be a neighbor, whatever have you. They will fill out an I-9 form to verify who you are. And that's what I had to do. And it was so weird. But like, and you also have to upload your ID and your social security card onto the system, which you know is standard protocol for most businesses. But you know, most businesses, the HR department will actually, you know, verify your information, they sales, like especially if you're uploading your social security card, and then your ID matches your current address. I wouldn't understand why they would think you are a legal resident here of the United States. But even if you were, how would having your friend verify you add to the validity that your credit card, I mean, your passport, your ID, or whatever you're presenting to them is real? So that's why I didn't even. That confused me. It's like, what is the point of even having somebody to verify it if it's not nobody that is unbiased? It's like they pretty much telling you that a friend can do this, a neighbor, but they don't want you to have a notary public because, understandably so, they would be just as confused as I am. It's like, okay, why do you need to be verified, but they don't want an official notary stamp? It don't make any sense. So whatever, just have your friend verify you. You'll get the job. First day of training, you go through learning about the different systems, and you will get the downloading software. And the first software they will have you download is the Spark software. So go to my home screen. They will have you download this right here. And this is where you actually converse via web chat. I'm going to pull this up right quick. Now, of course, I've been out the company, so I can't log in to show y'all, but this is what it looks like. You will enter your credentials and it will actually log you into a system, and that's where you type from. So you're going to be on Google Hangouts, but you're going to be typing in this one at the same time. So if you need to type in your responses when other people are talking, or you just don't want to get on and talk with your microphone, you can do this as well. What else? You'll also be able to download this Avaya. You need to download this software. You also need to download a VPN, and for us, we had to download Cisco. So this is what they had us download right here. You would download this Cisco mobility client, and it's actually over here. Let me move it because it was in the same spot that my face is at. So you'll click connect, you have your password, and this is where you connect your VPN. Also, you had to do a virtual interface. You would be logged into a virtual computer somewhere else, and that was online. And that's when it got negative for me, because then this is where all the information came in. And to give y'all an idea of how much information that you're going to learn just within 2 days, let me pull up my pictures. 2 days. No camera. I mean, it is so much information that I think you really need more than 3 weeks training. The training that I mentioned to tell y'all that is only 3 weeks. But like I said, once you see how many pictures that I end up taking, all these slides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you got to learn about their, I mean, it's so much information in so little time. That's the first thing against me. 3 weeks is truly not enough for this amount of information. The second thing is, unlike Conduent, where everything is in one interface, where if you need to search for key phrases and stuff, you can actually do that within the search tools. If you need to add any comments to somebody's account, just like with Spectrum, anybody who's worked for Spectrum, Dish Network, or any television service provider, internet provider, you're already familiar with this. That's why I say, even though they do not require you to have previous experience, I definitely recommend, if you have previous experience, it will help you out, because I have previous experience and I was overwhelmed. I'm an introverted personality type, and this caused me to quit within 2 days. So I cannot imagine somebody who is, number one, if you are extroverted and you have ADD, and your ADD symptoms include anxiety, do not even apply for this job. This job will overwhelm you. Anybody who suffers from ADD with anxiety, this is not the job for you. Because like I said, I'm introverted, I'm homebody. I've done stuff with Spectrum. Y'all saw me with Sales TV service on here, but I've also worked with Spectrum and Dish outside of Sales TV services. I've also applied for Conduent, and I gotten the chance to mess with their interface software, and it's a lot more updated than this. You got to pull up a whole separate window just to type in comments, and then you got the if a person asks you something, you got to go to a whole nother darn on site and then type in just to get the answer, and then you got to type in all these code words, and then the other code words come down with it. And then if there's another code, you got to add that one in with the sequence to that one. It is so much stuff that is outdated that don't make sense. So just off of that alone, is it worth $10 an hour? No, God, honey. I would recommend, if you can, go for Conduent instead. Conduent starts anywhere from $13 to $15 an hour. They interface software is a lot more less complicated than this. Internet speed and stuff, you need the same setup, you need your USB and everything else, but I think you actually need a 17-inch monitor, so be wary of that. With Conduent, I think you do need a 17-inch, so a large laptop or a desktop is preferable. But actually, they will actually send you out. In most cases, they will actually send you the software if you get hired. You will get Apple software and stuff, versus with this job, they would not send you this. This is based off of my own computer and stuff right here. That's why they run tests. That's another thing I forgot to mention. They were actually, on the first day, they will actually still check your specifications to see, because people sometimes lie about their stuff and say, oh yeah, my software is this, that, and the third, and then they will actually go and check your software to verify that it's legit. Now, granted that they did that during the call interview and they had me do it, they still check it again. So don't think you can just lie and Google search a laptop and say that your laptop has all this, because they will verify it on live. They will actually have you they will have you download some sort of software on the first day, and it actually runs your whole laptop. It takes literally about 30 seconds, and it will verify if your stuff is it qualifies for this job or not. So do not sneak and think if you got a unqualified, and if you definitely doing this from a tablet, they will pick up on that real quickly, because it's like, number one, you need to have a headset, because so you can't do this from no smartphone nor a tablet, because you have to have a headset, be logged in into Google Hangouts. You have to have this software downloaded. So it's too much stuff that requires a laptop for you to think you can do this from your from your tablet or cell phone. But yeah, definitely not worth $10 an hour. The commission rate, you had the potential at $15 an hour, but with all the stuff you learn, I personally would not recommend this company. Too much for me. And then I started reading the reviews. I've heard some people say they had racist encounters with the company. And granted that the person that I first because there was two trainers, and one was somewhat of a redneck conservative. However, he was kind with me. But maybe, my experience is different. Y'all know I come from a multiracial family. I come from a conservative family as well. So I'm used to dealing with Republicans. I'm very much, I'm independent, so I lean either way. Like, I got conservative values, I got liberal values. I'm in North Carolina, so it's like, hell, I've dealt with the worst of the worst. So a conservative on a business, working in a business atmosphere is nothing new to me. Y'all know I dealt with corporate America. I dealt with texture discrimination. I've dealt with, racism with my skin color, my southern accent, me being of the community, honey. So I've dealt with so much that, I wasn't worried about that. But I didn't have any problems as far as any but I could see where people could see that, because I was like, yeah, I could tell that they have quite a conservative background here. But they was very welcoming to me. They also addressed me as ma'am. That was a plus. And that was including the conservative guy as well. So that once again, I have not had any problems. As far as a marketing, they advertisement, do not let this scare you. Let me pull this up real quick. You would think, because imaging does matter. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back to the home thing. It shows one black woman, that's it. No black men, no Asian man. It pretty much the conservative view of all American. All America's the land of diversity, but when people say all American, they tend to think of a white person. The irony of that, this nation was originally full of Native American Indians, but all American is actually a term indicative to white people. Okay. Anyways, one token black girl of a lighter complexion, about around my skin tone. She's not light skinned, she's more like a brown skinned sister. However, on my chat line, there was 15 people on the Google Hangouts, and out of those 15 people, 9 of us were black, including plus size black woman, young, old. We all range from 20s to 50s. Liberal white people on the line, a Hispanic woman. We had everybody up in there but the Native American and Asian. So very inclusive as far as on my end. So I would say that you don't have to worry about being profiled against. Like I said, 9 out of the 15 people on my chat was actually of, African descent, from various backgrounds. They hired throughout the South, Alabama. I'm in North Carolina. A lot of people on the chat was from Alabama, Georgia. I can't. There's actually certain states they also do not hire for, but they would tell you that during the interview process as well. But anyways, ultimately, I give this job a C. Like I was saying, I give this job overall a C minus. This is something that if you cannot find anything else give it a try. If you have an IT background and you just want to fill a job, or if you don't mind dealing with a lot of systems and, you know, web pages open up at one time, definitely give this job a try. Stick around for it for a few months. This will be something to add to your resume to get to more enticing jobs such as Conduent. Like I said, Conduent offers, you know, starting pay $13 an hour, guaranteed 40 hours a week. Benefits start within 30 days. That would be my goal to elevate up to real quick. Some people think of A-Rise, but I think A-Rise you have to pay to get access to all the job opportunities. So that's a catch-22. It's like, you got to actually pay money to actually get afforded the opportunities for the jobs that they provide you. Versus with Conduent, it's free and they actually sending you over $2,000 worth of equipment. So Conduent is the #1 job I would recommend that you get into. This will be a good job to add to your resume to help, you know, increase your chances of getting in the door. But, yeah, overall, I wouldn't recommend this company. $10 an hour, the commission rates and stuff for all that you have to know is not worth it. And like I said, if you are extroverted with anxiety disorder, if you have a problem sitting down, and that's another thing I didn't touch on is the hours. They work in the Central Time Zone, so you got to log in for training at 9:30 Central Time. 9:30 to 4:30 for the first 3 weeks. And then your time will be Monday through Thursday. And then every now and again you might be required to work a weekend. So 40 hours a week guaranteed. No more than 50 hours that you can work. They do allow you to get overtime, which is a pay and a half, unless your state requires something different. Some states actually have a cap that you can only make a certain percentage. Most states you get time and a half for overtime. But anyways, yeah, they might allow you to work a maximum of 50 hours. Holidays, they observe Christian holidays only, so all major Christian holidays you do have off. Your Christmas, your New Year's, Thanksgiving, you have those days off. So that is it with this job in a nutshell. Like I said, a C-. I would recommend this job only as a last resort. Like I said, you don't really have to have no shown us, but if you really do have the skills, it'll be good so you wouldn't be frustrated with this. But like I said, 3 weeks. The instructors are real, you know, diligent. They actually work with you, because a lot of us was sharing our screen on presentation mode. And, you know, for me to be new to Google Hangouts, I learned how to share my screen real quick when I was having problems downloading the stuff that I needed for me. So the instructors are not bad at all. It's just the way this job is set up. It's not idealistic at all. And like I said, for somebody like me who's been in this for 10 plus years, this was among the most complicated that I've ever seen. Like I said, I've seen Spectrum software, I've seen Conduent, I've worked for several other companies that by legal I still can't disclose. But out of the several softwares I've seen, this is definitely the most old school archaic software I've ever seen. And for you to be working with small to large businesses, it don't make no sense. Versus with Spectrum, I was actually doing, you know, retail. I was dealing with, you know, home-based, you know, customers, residential services. And their service is a lot more updated than this. And then, y'all know, I also did sales TV service. And sales TV service, I don't have to deal with interface software and none of that at all. I was just a sales rep. I just had my website. I would call the people back if they left a message. And then, you know, I go on from there. I offer, you know, the discounts or whatever for installation fees. And, you know, get people hooked up with their services. Same thing with Dish. Same thing with Direct TV. But as far as this right here, no, God, honey, this ain't the business. But if you want to give it a try, all power to you, honey. But yeah, this video is already 35 minutes long enough. Y'all go on and leave y'all comments, thoughts, and suggestions down below. Like this video if it was helpful to you. Subscribe, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.